stream is live, by the way. What do you mean? Oh, because of NXT? Yeah, we'll make a sacrifice. We get a lot more views, like, people are subscribing to our YouTube slowly but surely. So people get a lot more views. I'm not too worried about it. It's slowly but surely. Like, I'll be trying to have NXT in the background. Oh, so you're looking at it, so I won't even worry about it. Like, if anything big, it's like, raise your hand. Anything big happens, like, raise your hand. You're like, yes, you in the back, kid. Okay, do you know if Mance got to watch it? Greatest rain delay in history of sports. I lived to see Michael Cole and Samoa Joe in matches. I was thoroughly sports entertainment. Well, did you watch the Jericho and Austin? What's Jericho and Austin? I heard. I was just... It was 4 straight days of wrestling, and I was like, alright, I'm going to bed. And I was like, fuck. I'll probably watch it. You see the video he posted on like Saturday? He was at like the airport and he's like, hey, I know that plane. And it was a WWE like corporate jet. Oh no. It's okay. You had some wrestling. Gotcha. Okay, don't worry, don't be surprised. I have an extra screen because I have to record. So before we get to this, before we get to our main screen, it's going to be an extra screen. So it's this extra screen. It's literally just a bunch of cameras. Gotcha. Coming up this week on Kings of the Rings podcast, it rained, it poured, but nothing can stop the show of shows. We review a 2-night WrestleMania spectacular and the potential fallout from that show. Plus, we find out if NXT did indeed stand and deliver, and oh yeah, we also might be on the move ourselves. So make sure you watch your step going down the ramp because it's Kings of the Rings podcast exclusively on Wrestle Addict Radio, and it starts right now. You would.
I would because I did.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a spectacular post-WrestleMania show of Kings of the Rings podcast exclusively here on Wrestle Addict Radio, live right now on Twitter, on Twitch, on YouTube, and my personal Facebook, if you haven't. My name is King Ricky Rose, host of the Kings of the Rings podcast, GM of Wrestle Addict Radio, alongside Willie T and K Murphy. We're going to find out if NXT and WWE stood and delivered throughout all of the random acts of God, and if Mandy Rose ever got off the entrance ramp. But before we get into all that, Willie T, how are you doing? You're looking like a little Miss Bliss today.
A little Miss Bliss, yeah. I forgot I had this shirt, but
I forgot you had it too.
It kind of is what it is. If I kind of forgot we were recording today, otherwise I would have changed because, man, that segment was awful. But other than that, WrestleMania was pretty damn good, about exactly what I expected. But other than that, you know, I'm in a weird mood today, so we're gonna see what happens. Kay Murphy, try and cheer me up, please.
I'm also in a weird mood today. So
Great.
Oh, it's gonna be a weird show, isn't it?
It's gonna be a weird show.
Oh boy.
And I'm not that high yet.
Oh, so you're like you're trying to get there, is what you're telling me?
Yeah, I'm very focused right now and very serene and in a bad mood.
Do you want to talk about it? Do we need to help you?
Absolutely not.
Are you sure?
Absolutely not. Yes.
We're going to talk about this at a break. But is it one of those?
Sort of.
Oh boy, weird can be good. Thank you, Kavita. Shout out to Kavita, my new favorite photographer. And our Patreon member, Kavita. So hi, how are you? So let's just not BS anymore, but let's get right into it. WrestleMania, the show of shows, was another two-night spectacular, and try as it may, God couldn't even stop WrestleMania because Vince wouldn't freaking allow it. So, first and foremost, I loved this set. The set was...
Oh, yeah.
The set
beautiful.
was almost the reason that I was like, you know what? I might need to go. Like, I thought about it really quick, because I was, for 2 years, when they announced this, I was like, alright, Pirate Ship Mania, this is going to be awesome. And they actually built a bigger pirate ship in a stadium that already has a pirate ship.
That's the best part. I did not know that.
Yeah.
But that's the best part right there. This set was gorgeous. The crowd was not lit very well, but that was on design. But like the everything, the presentation, all of it, absolutely gorgeous. The pyro, the lights, the weird special effects that they kind of got down now.
Yeah.
Those 3D animation graphics, phenomenal. And this proves that WWE is just the number one when it comes to production in the world with anything. Period.
Yeah. When they did the set reveal, okay, I don't know if you thought about this, but I thought about this, was that they put like the 3D animation on the top level of a stadium, and I was like, did they just put screens on the top of the stadium? And
It looked wild.
Did they actually?
No. That was a 3D animation.
Are you what? I thought they put a giant.
No, that was a
screen.
3D animation because people tweeted at me on my Twitter that they had seats in that area, so it was just a 3D animation.
That's
like
wild.
If you look back at the pictures.
Yeah, I was also thinking. I was like, I know it's COVID and whatnot, but like, you know, those are seats that just aren't being sold.
Yeah, because they got to space them out. But no, I get your. I thought that same way too. I was like, you could fit 25,000 in the first 2 levels of that stadium and space them out pretty well.
Yeah. It looked full. From what you could see, it looked
They
full.
also added...
Yeah, no, they did a lot of
They did a lot of cardboard people, too, as well. Like, I think...
Can I just say, I'm a little horrified by how many maskless folk I saw at WrestleMania.
You're in Florida. What did you expect?
Yeah,
I know, but like...
That's fine.
Ugh.
It is what it is, but, you know, what are you going to do? I also enjoyed this, Kay. The opener... Like, I don't know why... Okay. I don't know why I didn't think about this. Like, as soon as the show started, I was like, Vince is going to open up this fucking show, isn't he? And of course, that's exactly
I
what
was
he did.
cracking up. So my takeaway from the whole opening is how come Roman Reigns gets to stand closer to Vince McMahon than his own son does?
Because Roman's the head of the table. That wasn't a gimmick. That was reality.
Kay, I had a feeling you were going with that, but then you said closer than his son, and I was just like, wow, I didn't think of that. I didn't catch that.
Yeah, Roman. He's like, there's Vince, there's Roman, and then on the side that there Shane's on the other side. You can't see it in the picture.
Yeah, damn.
That's
It's like,
absolutely wild to me. Like, is Roman more of a son to you than Shane O'Mac?
The answer is yes.
We've all seen the tweets, right? It's like the tweets. So it's like, Vince McMahon from his Twitter account tweets out like "Happy Birthday Triple H," like pictures and tags and like hashtags and whatnot. And it's just for Shane, it's just "Happy Birthday" at Shane McMahon. So there's some bad blood there somewhere.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But to be honest with you, Will, I loved this. Everybody on the stage to kick off the show, because when I think about it, like, the jig is up. It's wrestling. Everybody knows wrestling is a staged event. Yeah. So why just treat it like a staged event? Have all your characters out, like, on the stage, and say, "Welcome to WrestleMania, our biggest show of the year." Do all this problem and circumstance. Yeah, share the moment with the fans. I thought it was great. I think it's something that they should keep. And they all stood there for America the Beautiful, which I thought was cool.
I don't know about keeping it. I think this was a very cute and appropriate one-off.
Sure.
Because, like, obviously Vince being out there first, it's like it made the most sense. I thought Hulk Hogan coming out right afterwards. But, Drew getting that first actual reaction as an entrance walking down the ramp was very poetic. And once they said, "This is the reward he gets," I'm like, "Oh, he's not winning." But this, it wasn't just Drew carrying a company. It wasn't just Braun Strowman as champion. It wasn't just champions in the workhorse. It's like everybody. This literally was a company-wide effort to get through this past year and to give all them that reaction in front of actual people, and you can see it on everybody's face.
They're so happy.
Fuck character. It was great, and seeing those genuine reactions from everybody.
Rhea Ripley in tears during America the Beautiful.
It was
that was the most magical part of WrestleMania for me. Was just seeing the reactions of all these actual people. You connect with them as people, not just characters.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Hey, welcome to WrestleMania. We're in a rain delay."
Yeah, that was a little rough.
But I liked the rain delay because it was one of those things where WWE is one of the only companies in the world, and potentially probably from sports entertainment's perspective, they didn't miss a beat. They're like, "Oh, it's a rain delay. Let's just get our best promo people to cut promos for the next half hour. Everybody line up and do it."
They fucking killed it. Like,
it was amazing. It was
it was better than anything I've done on TV for the past 3 months.
Because they had to do it on the fly.
Yeah.
And it worked, and everybody hyped up their matches. You had a low-key New Day return promo out of nowhere because Biggie kind of just like walked into their shot. Like, it was awesome to see. So I enjoyed that. Like, it made the rain delay go by a lot quicker. And then we got to the matches, but we're not going to go in any particular order. We're just going to go in the orders that I felt was very important. I think this, out of all the matches, may not have been the best match for some people, but I think this was the most important match of this WrestleMania year. Bianca versus Sasha, main eventing night 1 of WrestleMania, to what a lot of people have said already. A lot of people have said immediately after, immediate reaction, they said one of the best main events that they had seen in a while. Kay, what was your thoughts on it?
So this was my Mania moment that I cried.
Oh, you're talking about the standing ovation right here?
The very beginning. Well, the package
was beautiful.
But then just looking at them, like, then they're just looking at each other and like crying, and it gave me goosebumps. Like, if we were there, I probably would have broken down. It was a beautiful match. It was really well done. Probably one of my favorite women's matches I've ever seen, and it fucking delivered and absolutely deserved to be the main event.
Yeah, it gave me that standing. It gave me Rock Austin vibes. Because I don't think we've seen anything like that in a while. And I honestly thought, Will, like, I saw Bianca start breaking down. I was like, she's not going to make it through this match.
Yeah, I was just like, come on, Bianca, act like you've been there before, girl. Don't be bringing character on me yet. You haven't fucking won yet. Stop fucking crying. I get it. It's a huge thing, but I was like, oh, it wasn't a good look. I'm be honest.
I like the humanity of it.
You wouldn't cry if you were in the main event of WrestleMania.
Will's not a crier.
You're a professional. You act like you've been there before. Act like you deserve to be there. Cry afterwards. But as soon as that tie-up came in, they locked up, and they got going. It was like, okay, it's go time. She snapped right back into it.
She did a great job.
Sasha snapped right back into it. The match was terrific. The match was phenomenal.
Yeah.
They both did a really, really good job in this match, and I'm glad Bianca won. And that hair whip, I popped so loud.
For that hit.
I was so excited.
That hit. I popped for this moment here. That segment was unbelievable.
Yeah, I popped for that too.
Sasha dives through the middle rope. Bianca catches her, rolls through, and then Gorilla presses her into the ring. And it's not like a BS, like I'm gonna keep you on my head to distribute the weight a little bit easier. Like, she had full arm extension and carried a human being up steps and threw another human being in the ring. That is unbelievably difficult.
You know what else I thought was really interesting? There was a really clever callback to NXT. So do you remember when, I forgot what the move is, but Sasha kicks out and she had a fucking meltdown and her eyes nearly popped out of her skull?
She did. Bianca did the splash off the top?
Yeah.
And she has lost her mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So when she fought Shayna for the NXT Women's title at TakeOver, the same exact thing happened. Shayna kicked out. She had a meltdown. But at TakeOver, she didn't recover.
Oh.
Is that when Shayna just came up and choked her out?
Yeah. And whereas this time, it's 2 years out from that. It showed she had the same meltdown, but she recovered. She regrouped.
I like that.
She won.
I like that. That's a very good. I didn't even notice that. But that was very, very good. And then we got this crazy moment here, and the crowd went nuts. Bianca's father almost got accosted by security, which I thought was the funniest thing.
Hopped the barrier.
Like, I love his energy. Like, that's amazing. Like, he.
Or the best was Michael Cole saying Sasha kicked out when she just even
he was
move.
like, my bad.
There were so many technical glitches, like, and botches in this night one of Mania. I was like, wow, these guys are rusty in front of a live crowd.
Haven't done it in such a long time.
Like, even Bianca's entrance, they put up the graphics of the EST of NXT.
Really?
It did, yeah.
How does that even package? Like, don't they review it? Like, this is why we have rehearsal.
I guess not. So, yeah, that was the wrong graphic. What else went wrong in Mania? A lot,
but it was still... Night one was a very enjoyable show, I will say. And that whip... Have you seen this photo, Will?
Oh, yeah, it's been everywhere. It's been absolutely everywhere. I was just like, ow, ow. That had to hurt. Because I was waiting for it. I was waiting for the whip. Because, just a few spots I had in mind. Sasha using the hair for her submission.
That was bound to happen,
check. Kicking out, rolling out on the ropes, back to the center of the ring, check. The hair whip. God damn, that was a check.
Yeah.
Because that was absolutely vicious. And before we move on to other matches, it's a common theme I had about this Mania was all of these matches. There wasn't one match on either night that I didn't actually enjoy, other than the Gauntlet.
Yeah.
But each and every single match delivered. Each and every single match was an entertaining match for what it was. Obviously, some matches better than others. This was one of the best. But I and the Raw after Mania kind of proves this point for me. This Mania made me realize that there is literally no point in watching Raw or SmackDown. If you didn't watch Raw or SmackDown from Rumble until now, you wouldn't have missed a goddamn thing. And you can see it in the promo packages. Like, hey, you mentioned the promo package, how epic it was. Yeah, it was terrific. Didn't show anything that happened in the past 3 months of television.
No, it didn't. Especially for Bianca and Sasha.
All it did was take the promos they cut in ring and matched up with some matches they've had over their career. And that was the build. And you know what? That video package
worked.
Was perfect.
Yeah, it worked.
It got you right in the moment. But what's the point of watching their television?
What's the story?
You can just go pay. You can just go pay-per-view to pay-per-view and not miss a goddamn.
Yeah, that's what you're doing with Wrestle Wars, right?
No, Wrestle Wars. Well, once it comes back on the network, I actually go week to week.
Oh, okay.
But I watch every week to week, but I base it off the pay-per-view matches and the story they're telling on TV.
Gotcha.
So if they don't like WCW doesn't really tell stories on TV, which is my big criticism with WCW, which why doesn't its score as high.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same thing here. Like the video package only tells so much. Like Sasha and Bianca it's a great story. It's a great feud. They're very similar characters. All this we've been saying on the podcast. But their TV doesn't reflect that. So why do I bother watching?
You do pose a good point. Like why would you even watch a thing? Especially when a lot of this build was sullied by the Reginald storyline that they stayed in for a while.
I fell asleep during the Raw after Mania. Like that's unacceptable.
It was terrible.
It was a very bland Raw after Mania.
Terrible.
You had maybe one surprise comeback.
Awful.
Like you know what I like wanted from the Raw after Mania?
Brock Lesnar.
Surprises. I wanted literally anybody. Brock Lesnar, Adam Cole, CM Punk, literally Goldberg.
You always want CM Punk.
I will always and forever. John Cena.
John Cena's not coming back. John Cena's movie guy now. Yeah.
And a TV guy. But I wanted to see. So you know how Maurice came back on the Miz TV?
Maurice came back on Raw too. She actually they were fine.
Oh, just to pitch Miz and Mitch's
Miz and Mrs.
But you know what they could have.
It makes it seem like she might stick around for a while, but who knows?
They could have brought Frankie Monet, aka John Morrison's girlfriend, to
She's
Raw. And
showing up on NXT right now. But here's what I think is going to happen. I think Maurice is going to be the reason because they're building it right now.
Miz and Morrison break up.
Miz is going to turn on Morrison.
Oh, for sure. And I'm upset about it.
Yeah, that's what's happening. Frankie Monet is on NXT.
That'll be a fun SummerSlam match.
Yeah.
Or Battleground, whatever the fuck.
WrestleMania Backlash is now a thing as well.
Yeah, why is it called that?
It's because it's there to trick people. It's there to trick the outsider.
It's like, guys, I understand what Backlash means. Like.
So wait, so it's not even for regular. It's for like muggles.
And they're trying.
Yeah, it's. WWE thinks you're so stupid you can't put two and two together.
Yeah.
No, this is to grab a new audience to trick people on Peacock to watch WrestleMania.
Exactly.
But it's a piece of shit pay-per-view called Backlash.
Yeah. Which I thought they had retired Backlash, but apparently not.
That's rude.
It's marketing. Anyhow, let's move on to I think Will's favorite.
No, it's disingenuous.
Marketing has never been genuine at all or truthful.
I know.
Yeah, right. What are you, nuts?
Really?
I know. I'm studying it right now.
Will, talk to me about this triple threat.
Oh God, this. I was a fool on my bet. If I put that Jey Uso would get involved and weapons would be used, I would have won $4 on the DraftKings book. I would have come in first play. I would have tied for first. Would have been 8 for 8. But I was wrong. As soon as Jey Uso came out, I was like, whoops. And I was like, oh, triple threat. I should have assumed I was a moron. But this match was phenomenal. This was a
demolition derby done right.
Yeah, that spot. Where, like, Edge and fighting over the chair, and Edge just has a piece of the chair. I was like, that was on purpose, I hope. And then, the submission, Deep Ride comes in, they're both submitting them, and they just look at each other, and they start headbutting. That's my spot of the year right now. I thought that was the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Well, Roman's just suffering on the, he can't tap out because they both have him in the submission.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And pinning both of them, Maron. One thing he kind of got wrong, though, in my opinion, were Edge's shoulders also on the mat?
I believe they were. I'm contesting that because I think something fishy is going to happen on SmackDown, but
because Edge is like, I also pinned Daniel Bryan.
I think that could be the argument, but I looked at the photo at least again, and I think Roman made it position Edge in a way that Edge's shoulders were also on the ground. If they're not, then Roman technically is screwed if they go that angle. They also still could have gone that angle and Roman still looks strong, but he loses the title, so you kind of have that division there.
Well, no, I mean because he pinned Edge, who pinned Bryan. Yeah. So he still pinned both of them. It's kind of like a no contest.
It could be a no contest. You could give it to Edge. It's not going to Daniel Bryan.
No, you don't give it to Edge because Roman pinned Edge.
But Edge pinned
That's
D-Bry.
that's
Edge
undisputed.
pinned
But Edge
D-Bry.
pinned D-Bry, and Edge was on top of D-Bry, and Roman
So
wasn't.
technically, Edge pinned first.
Yeah.
I guess.
It
I don't know,
depends.
we're putting too much. We're putting too much
Yeah,
thought into
it
wrestling
depends
right
on the
now.
shoulder.
But yeah, that's the image. That's the image
Yeah.
right there.
I loved Edge bringing back the concerto, and obviously, just take out the guy with the bad neck. But not Roman. I really thought for a second this was going to be the return of Jimmy. Because they kicked Jay
when
out.
Jay
Yeah.
got stretchered. When Jay got stretchered, I thought when he came in, I thought it was Jimmy. Michael Cole was like, "It's Jay." I was like, "Well, he was been wrong." Before.
That would have been a great twin magic there. But they didn't, and LOL, Roman won. But great main event, fantastic. I wanted Jimmy to come back, but Roman, one of my friends said, Artie actually, shout out to AJ Skywalker. Roman is now the final boss of wrestling.
He is.
He's the final boss, and it's going to take somebody spectacular to take him out. My initial guess is Biggie. Maybe.
My guess is The Rock.
It's leaning...
No.
Yes.
Absolutely
Oh,
not.
absolutely, yes. Absolutely, yes.
You think they're going to keep it on Roman for another year?
Yes.
Yeah. You know why? Because
Why?
a big fear, I think, in the IWC and maybe even vaccines to WWE. How is the audience going to react in person to Roman? And they reacted perfectly. They booed the shit out of him.
So I watched night 2 of Mania with AJ, who does not watch wrestling except for most pay-per-views with me. So he doesn't know anything going on. So he just goes, "Why is everyone booing Roman?" He was very confused.
That's the question that WWE has had for 7 years.
No, I explained to him the entire history of Roman Reigns and how he was shoved down our throats and how no one liked him and all. I had to break it all down.
I mean, we also have an episode about it was like rabble rabble, Roman Reigns was never over. We discussed this years ago.
Yeah.
Ad nauseum.
Honestly, I was mad, and I love Roman. Roman's daddy. I'm mad he won.
I'm not.
It makes sense.
It does make sense. I didn't want it.
Everybody wanted Edge.
Corey,
No one wanted Daniel.
Corey Graves said it best.
I
Corey
was the
Graves said it
only
best.
person that wanted Daniel Bryan to win.
Who is gonna beat Roman Reigns? I was like, yeah.
Who?
WTV is so bad they can't build anyone up. Right now, it's gonna be Apollo Crews.
I think it's going to be
Shut
Biggie.
your
I think Biggie dropped to go after it. But before we get to that, speaking of Bobby Lashley, I'm very surprised that they kept the title on Bobby. I was almost certain that Drew was going to come out and win.
Me too.
Because they love the fuck out of Drew. Drew been kicked off Go Home Raw. I mean, not Go Home Raw, Raw after Mania.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Again, but there is faith in Bobby Lashley, apparently, which I enjoy. MVP, Manager of the Year.
Manager of the Millennium. Love him.
He was Bobby, watch out for the kick.
And Drew was like, huh? That, I don't know. I don't know if that was the most realistic or the most stupid finish to a WrestleMania main event I've ever seen.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought for a second Drew was going to kick out or get out of the Hurt Lock, but then Bobby just rolled through and then just laid him out.
Yeah,
but
when his leg went over, I'm like, oh, that's it.
Yeah, but now we get Drew and Bobby again at WrestleMania Backlash. Cause Jay.
Of course.
Cause Jay. Cause he beat Braun Strowman and he beat Randy. Moving on. Bad Bunny had the best celebrity match in the history of wrestling.
Holy shit, it was amazing.
In the history of WrestleMania, at least.
Were you gonna say Andy Kaufman was better?
No, I'm gonna say Steve Amell.
Ooh, I gotta look back at it. I think Bunny was a little bit more.
I've never seen it.
It was a SummerSlam match. It was a great match.
The only thing is, it was SummerSlam against Stardust.
Yeah.
This was more high profile, and the high profile does go a long way, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So if you say this is the best celebrity match ever, and you use that argument, I can't really disprove you. But I'm saying watch that Stephen Amell match again, and that was even more unexpected.
I was there for the Stephen Amell match. It was very surprising all the stuff he pulled off, and then he became an indie wrestler.
like this was almost exactly what I expected out of Bad Bunny. Like everyone's like, this was so surprising. I'm like, was it though?
Well,
I didn't expect him to hit a Canadian Destroyer.
I did not expect a Canadian Destroyer either. That's my one exception. That Canadian Destroyer, I popped for that as well. I lost my mind.
Oh my
Lost my
God.
mind.
hi, Kiefer, a male over Bad Bunny. Well, you got one supporter there. Well, and my friend Kiefer.
Hey.
But here's my thing. We should have expected this when we found out in the news leak that not only did he relocate himself to Orlando, he has been training in the Performance Center every day. And then it leaked afterwards that his trainers were Drew Gulak and Scrap Daddy Adam Pearce. And I never really saw Adam Pearce work, but I know Drew Gulak is a technical master. Like, he's a great worker. And and it showed that they got him as ready as possible, and I was very surprised at how well Bunny was able to sell. And he took up the majority of the match. Damian Priest barely got in.
I expected him to take a few. I expected him to do like a frog splash, do some like rest holds and shit, and do the final pin, and that was it.
Yeah, he did a lot more. He also stole Becky. He also stole Becky Lynch's entrance, which I thought was hysterical.
He did. But this was billed as a one-on-one match.
Yeah.
So maybe that was originally the plan, and they switched at the last minute. So him and Miz, the beginning of that, the first like half of that match really was
a one-on-one.
Probably what the match was going to be, the one-on-one match, and then they swapped it up. But yeah, like I was very glad he started the match. He excelled. He was great, and now he's going to go on tour. Good for him.
Yeah, it was a great cross promotion. He was like, "Hey,
Barclays Center, March 19th.
Yeah, it's going to be Issa's fantasy tour.
I want to go.
I want to go just to watch Issa just lose her mind.
Can we go? Can we go on a podcast field trip to Bad Bunny?
I'll talk to Issa. Issa losing. Apparently, Issa and Bad Bunny are from the same town in Puerto Rico.
Oh wow.
Which is why she loved him so much. But he did his thing. You know, it was absolutely amazing what he did. He's selling Maid with Ziggler, a fan. And, hey, he did it. I don't know what it does for Damian Priest, because Damian Priest is kind of now left on his own devices. But we'll see what happens.
It wasn't about him.
It wasn't.
Who cares? It was a good spot for him to be in. He was there.
Yeah, he was there. He got his Mania moment.
He gets a T-shirt that says "I was there."
Mr. Fred.
Yeah, and Bad Bunny's merchandise you can't find on the shop because it's sold out. He also had a great following in the crowd. Really, really great following that helps him. Hey, Freds. All right, let's get a little weird. We got the Randy and Bray Wyatt match that opened the show. Will, your initial thoughts as you're...
Pure and utter dog shit.
I don't know where this is going.
I don't think they're meant to have a good Mania match.
Well, here's the thing. Bray Wyatt should just quit. Like, anytime he gets momentum, squashed by Cena at Mania, had a tough time recovering. Won Elimination Chamber, won the belt.
He also lost to returning Taker.
Lost to her, okay, built up a little bit more, lost to returning Taker. Built up a little bit more, won the belt, lost to Orton in that stupid bug match. He has this Fiend character. Botched the Hell in a Cell. Jobbed out to Goldberg.
Oh, I remember the Hell in a Cell.
Lit on fire by Randy Orton. Comes back and then loses with the stupid red light.
I don't know. Why did they bring back the red light? I was like, why did they do this?
Like,
it was awful then. It's awful now. Don't ever do it again.
I don't think there's any wrestler in history who has been...
Why is Imperium on NXT? Sorry.
Imperium's on NXT.
No, they came in through the MSK and Drake Maverick, Killian Dane.
Oh, we got a tag division, y'all. Something we don't have on the main roster. It's something. It's weird because it was like the Fiend was good, but now it's the Alexa Bliss show.
Not even. It was like, okay, Alexa Bliss is just there, and it's like she came out of the fucking swamp from Land Before Time.
I thought she was becoming Venom from Spider-Man. That was me.
I thought she was the Black Swan.
She's also the Black Swan.
Why would you do this on WrestleMania? Why would you do this on WrestleMania?
Why
are you just burying the Fiend like this? It's like this. Bray Wyatt is literally has had the worst booking in wrestling history for such great characters.
He has got, it's a fantastic character. Apparently he's now like an evangelical priest now on the Firefly Funhouse. Like he's found a way, and Alexa Bliss has a new puppet named Lily, who could be anybody. Who could...
I don't care,
well,
dude.
I heard a rumor. Okay, so I heard a rumor that The Fiend was not actually Bray Wyatt wrestling, because all the tattoos were covered up, and which is sus. Because obviously Bray Wyatt's tatted the fuck up.
Yeah.
And people think they're setting up for a Bray Wyatt versus The Fiend match.
You're going to have... It's Undertaker versus Undertaker again.
Mm-hmm.
That's even stupid.
Moving along to a more entertaining match, because Cesaro got his moment, and one of the greatest spins in history with the UFO spin. Kay, what were your thoughts on this?
My God.
I popped. I think Seth Rollins is such a dick. He's so
Seth
good.
Rollins is the man. I don't care what anybody says. I love me some Seth.
I'm obsessed with him. Seth's got some drip.
look, ma, no hands.
Look, ma, no hands. Sethy drip made Cesaro look like a star. Cesaro has been fucking overdue for a good singles moment at Mania, if I'm not mistaken. Like, right? Nothing?
Mm-hmm. Nothing.
Nothing good? Nothing. And... it's about fucking time.
You know what I'd like to see? This could be, you can kind of Oscar bait the IWC. You get Cesaro versus Roman.
Oh God.
He's a believable person that people want to see win, and then Roman just beats him at the end. It's a good match in the making.
It's a good match, but what with them promos?
That is the only
Story-wise,
issue. That
I
is the
don't
only
really
issue.
Feel it.
Well, but it's a reset right now. It depends on what happens on SmackDown. Which is all. But he got his moment, and that's really what matters. Let's move along to Omos debuting. And I will say this right now, Will, I think Omos is the next great big man.
I thought he looked pretty bad, honestly. I don't think he looked that good.
I think he's fine. I mean, when you think about big men, and when I listened to the Big Show on podcast before, and he mentions the story with Austin and stuff, like, big men dictate the pace.
Yeah.
You know, he's 7'3". He shouldn't be selling for Xavier Woods or Kofi. They should be selling for him, and that's exactly what happened.
Oh, that wasn't my issue.
They sold it beautifully.
Yeah, they sold great, but I was like, he didn't look that
It was
good.
the outfit for me. The outfit was kind of weird.
His gear was like
yeah.
shit. Like, what is this fucking TGI Fridays waiter again? Why do we do this?
Can you imagine him as a TGI Fridays waiter? Hi, I'm here to take your order.
I would be...
You want the fries or the onion rings?
He's on like the bottom floor of Fridays, but he's being the waiter from the top floor because he's that damn tall.
Dude, he approaches your table on his knees.
And he's still taller than everybody at the table, standing up.
Still taller than you.
Oh my God, almost the Fridays. But I liked it. He gets tag titles, but more importantly is the fact that AJ Styles is now a Grand Slam champion.
Cool. So is everyone else.
I think it depends on where he's a modern day Grand Slam. Because the Grand Slams kind of are like, they're kind of interwoven because they added a couple of mid-card titles and they added tag team titles. So it's all messed up. It depends on what you consider like a true Grand Slam. I
mean, WWE inflates their stats? No way.
Or deflates when you look at Ric Flair. Ric Flair is actually like a 23-time world champion.
Yeah.
But 16 is the only ones that are recognized.
Fake sport has fake statistics.
Could you imagine?
Be kidding me.
Okay, what were your thoughts on KO versus Sammy?
I was so happy because for such a shitty build, they fucking delivered. They killed it. I will always want them to fight each other. I want them to fight forever. I want them to go at it again in like 5 Manias from now with a much more meaty story.
Loser leaves wrestling. That's what it is.
Yes, loser leaves wrestling. Logan Paul can suck a nut. I don't like him. It was a waste of my time. He ruined it for me.
Honestly, I thought Logan Paul's reactions were hysterical. I was like, he's so ripped right now. Like,
let's just say it was a good thing they didn't bring in Jake Paul because he is in some hot water right
oh,
now.
that's very, very true. They had him on SmackDown though.
Why? What'd he do?
Jake Paul has like accusations against him. I think. I know sexual assault, maybe rape.
Ooh.
Oh, good.
Ooh.
But he has some pretty serious allegations against him right now.
Gotcha.
No bueno.
And by the way, Mr. Freds, no one is ever counting the light heavyweight title as part of a Grand Slam anywhere.
Oh my God, that's a good throwback, Mr.
Don't
Freds.
even try that, Freds.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not. Don't try that. Do not give Christian a Grand Slam.
Taka Michinoku, right, deserves to be a Grand Slam champion, all right?
Yeah, okay. Obviously, KO won the match, and Jake Paul sold a pretty good stunner. I thought he broke his neck.
He did. I'll give him
all right.
that.
Yeah.
Did all right.
Did okay.
My main thing, great match for what it was.
Mm-hmm.
In 6 months from now, I'm gonna be like, who did KO WrestleMania again? I don't even
You'll remember that he stunned Jake Paul.
Yeah, but this match is gonna be forgotten in T-minus a few months.
Yeah, and you got to take it's either like that's a bad thing or it's a good thing depending on how you look at the rest of the card.
It's bad. It's bad. Honestly, this match was a show stealer. But you're just not gonna remember because the build was such shit.
It was rushed. Very, very rushed. This was an interesting finish. When I looked at Big E versus Apollo, I was like, oh, wow, Big E's getting his Mania moment. He's in his hometown. And then I remembered, oh, crap, he's in his hometown. He's losing. Yep.
Yeah, I remember that, too. I was like, uh-oh.
I forgot he was from Tampa.
Yeah. I listened to the New Day podcast, so he always talks about being from Tampa and all the stuff that he did. They remember the finish. That's right, Mr. Freds. And then I was like, oh, the hometown curse is alive and well. And then Babatunde came back, or Dabo Kato.
Yeah, Baba Booey. Baba Booey's back.
I loved it. I was like, you know what? Let's do it. I love how they had a Nigerian drum match, and they barely used the drums.
Not even that. They used we Googled it last week. Thanks to Freckles, we knew those were actually not Nigerian drums. Those are djembe drums, kind of like I have.
And kendo sticks.
Yeah,
They're
this
not
match.
Nigerian either.
Yeah, they
It was fun.
Asian, right? Kendo sticks are Asian.
I believe they are made of. So I guess they're of Asian, South Asian descent. I don't know actually.
It's that or Brazilian.
I want to say somewhere in the Asia part of the world. Don't quote me on that. So
we'll check in the break. It's not that big of a deal. But Baba Booey's back.
Yeah, they didn't name him though. They didn't name him Babatunde. They didn't name him Dabo Kato. They're like,
calling him a monster.
Yeah, who's this monster? I was like, he has two names, guys. Like we've used these names.
Like, I felt like they might as well call him Quasimodo at this point because that's how they were talking about him.
I was gonna say, you know what? Yeah, let's go with Quasimodo, but I don't think that's gonna work.
No, it was weird for Mania.
It is a weird kind of debut, but I think it works. It works for Apollo's character.
Yeah, I wasn't. At first, I was like, "Wow, this is stupid." And I had 5 seconds said it, and I was like, "Nah, it's fine."
Yeah, it's perfectly fine.
I mean, like, I thought it was like this hurts Big E's push, but it's like, nah, he'll be fine. In a few years, he's gonna
move past the IC title scene. I think he's moving up.
Yeah, it's a good spot for Apollo. It's a lot like Cesaro is a good spot for Cesaro. Like a lot of these things, it's like it was good for these guys to get these moments. Like you do want to establish new stars, and I think what WrestleMania did really well was establish, hey, here's new talent making their mark.
Yeah, it's these people's it's their time now essentially.
Yeah, even though they've been here forever.
Yeah, Apollo's been. I was there when Apollo debuted. He debuted at Takeover Brooklyn 1.
Takeover Brooklyn,
the first one.
Yep.
He went up against Baron Corbin, I think.
I believe so.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's finally getting his time to shine because he finally found his character. And I will say about fighting, I was very surprised by this match how I actually liked it. Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon. I was just very surprised. Like, I don't know how you can make a cage match any more creative than it already is. And I was like, oh, you ripped the cage in half. All right, perfect.
Yeah, it was great.
It was fun. I liked it.
Braun kept screaming, "This is for everyone's ever been called stupid." I'm like, so Braun, this match is dedicated to literally everybody.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you've never been called stupid in your life.
Oh, never?
Never.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is dedicated to everyone who's ever been called. So not only you dedicate this match to everyone who's been called stupid, you dedicate this match to everyone who's called someone else stupid. Because raise your hand if you called someone stupid before.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right? Like, it's like the story of this match was just ass backwards and stupid. No pun intended. Pun fucking intended, all right? All right, this match was
Nice.
But that being said, the match itself is fucking amazing.
Yeah, the match was really good.
It was so much fun.
I knew Braun was gonna win when he was like saying that he's like, I'm doing this for anyone that's ever been bullied and to prove the bullies never.
Hold
win.
on,
I'm like,
time out.
God.
Mr. French just said, I called someone stupid today.
Canadians call people stupid.
Eh? Sorry, Mr. French, I just had to.
Honestly, dude, a story of Braun Strowman, someone that big being bullied, isn't believable. I know, big people get bullied too. Everyone can be bullied, messaging to kids, whatever. But it's just not believable. Sorry.
You know what it was? Because it didn't have anything to do with his backstory. Like, he's done shoot interviews where he talked about how he was bullied as a child, and he talks about
his whole 24.
Yeah, his whole 24, and they should have focused on that, but they didn't. And that would have made it a little bit more, like, believable. Funny story about, Shane getting thrown off a cage. So Sunday afternoon, my high school football coach texted me. He's like, "Oh yeah, we started playing football again for high school and stuff." And he's like, "Oh, we played against Vince McMahon's grandson."
Wow.
he was like, "Oh yeah, nice kid. He's the running back for the other team." Blah blah blah. I introduced myself, and I was like, "Oh, that's funny. His father just fell off a steel cage last night." And he's like, "Dang, is he okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, he's fine."
I wonder who brought him to the game because the whole family was in Tampa.
Yeah, I don't know. I gotta miss WrestleMania because I gotta play a football game.
Shane comes out on the stage. He's like, "Sorry, Braun, I can't make this match. My kids got soccer practice. I mean, football."
Well, the game was. Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know I don't know if he flew down later. Maybe because the game was in the afternoon. Their butler
maybe.
Jeffrey. They don't have a butler named Jeffrey.
He does have a jet.
Yeah,
so it's very possible.
They live in New York. Like, it's not that far to get down there.
A few
Yeah,
hours
a couple
flight.
of
Yeah,
hours.
give or
Yeah.
take.
So let's move on. We're almost done with this. Kay, you got your moment. Rhea
I got my mom.
Rhea beat Asuka.
I lost my fucking mind.
I bet you did.
I did. I yelled. Everyone in my Discord was really unhappy with how loud I yelled.
What were your thoughts on the match, though?
The match was really, really good. By the time, I wasn't as satisfied in general with night 2. So, like, by the time we got to Rhea and Asuka, I was just relieved because I'm like, this can't be bad. But I'm like, but if it's bad, I'm gonna be upset.
My thing with WrestleMania this year was that night 1 was such like a breath of fresh air, and everybody expelled a lot of energy in night 1 that it was really hard for night 2 to pick up any sort of steam. Because they almost like exhausted everybody the first night because it was such like a return.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, night one definitely was way better.
Yeah.
But it's obvious. It's like, duh. Night 2 it's impossible for night 2 to live up to it.
Absolutely. So let's move on. And we did get our wish. Although Riddle didn't get bro kicked in the first 18 seconds, he got bro kicked upside down. And honestly, that was enough for me.
Love this match.
I
loved
hard.
it. I popped really loud too. I thought this match was tremendous.
Sheamus is a great worker.
It was that spot and Edge and Roman spearing each other, which popped me really loud.
The spear fusion.
That was one of my loudest pops of the weekend was the Roman and Edge spear.
Double spear. I loved it. I mean, Riddle got a good first run, but you have to reward Sheamus. Sheamus is a very underrated worker.
Dude, Sheamus was supposed to be in the main event.
I know. It was him and Drew. And
it was him and
Yeah.
Drew. Dude, they filmed a promo package for it.
What?
Yeah,
Wow.
no, like there's like one of the wrestling podcasts I follow. He leaked it on his Patreon. I'm like, I don't follow his Patreon anymore, but I still got the post. I didn't watch the video, but yeah, they had a whole promo package, and they had a clip of him backstage just sobbing because he wasn't gonna be in the main event.
Damn.
He was supposed to have Lashley's spot, and for some reason they changed Lashley instead.
Wow, that sucks.
Yeah.
I thought it was leading to Sheamus and Drew because honestly, that would have been a great story.
It was, and they switched it to Lashley.
I mean, Lashley's a good story too, but like in my eyes, Lashley could have waited before Sheamus and Drew were done.
Yeah, Lashley.
Yeah, I agree.
Because Lashley was supposed to get this big push after Mania, but then they were just like, well, what are we gonna do with him beforehand?
I'm like, oh, might as well do it now.
So they're like, well, we might as well give him a lengthy title reign.
Yeah.
Because Drew is definitely going to win over Sheamus and then go into feud with Lashley. But they didn't want to hop the title too much. So it would have gone from Drew to Miz to Sheamus to Drew to Lashley, all in like not even 6 months.
Yeah, that's too much.
True.
That's too much. So in the end, I think this made most sense. And the match with Drew and Lashley was pretty good. The storyline, it is what it is. Lashley, I think, is a more marketable main event. Lashley and McIntyre is more marketable than Lashley and Sheamus, because Sheamus always been this kind of like the
Yeah.
It's fucking
Sheamus. It's a shame to say. I've missed that theme. It was a great theme.
I do.
It was good, and in the most very underwhelming match was the tag team turmoil match that just was bad from the start. And we're not going to talk about it too much because obviously we all know that it was kind of just a clusterfuck.
It was cursed.
However, it was cursed. We had nip slips. We had Mandy falling on the WrestleMania stage, which the memes from that, amazing. But I kind of feel bad for Tamina. And I hate, they had an opportunity to give Tamina, a moment and, maybe beat Nia and Shayna for the tag titles in night 2. You even had this moment in night 1 where Natty would have gone for the pin, but she was like, no, Tamina, it's your time, you do it. And then she lost night 2.
Yep.
It was fucking...
To a crowd that wanted her. Yeah, to a crowd that really wanted Tamina to win, which I found surprising, but they were kind of behind her on this. So,
Yeah.
it is a shame, because Tamina's never won a title, and it has been a great time to give her moment. They gave Ryder and Hawkins their moment on a pre-show, but it was still a great moment nonetheless. They can have them win and they can have them drop and move along, but give them the moment. Tamina's been there long enough. Be it as it may, WrestleMania is finally over, and before we go to commercial break, what are our final ratings on this? How will we crown this now that we've actually seen night 1 and night 2? Kay Murphy.
I'm giving it a 9. I was very happy.
Okay. Well, what do you got?
I've been going back and forth. I'm not going to go quite as high as you guys. I gave it a 7.5 prediction. I'm going to give it an 8. It was about exactly what I expected, but I think overall this Mania is going to be forgettable. You got to remember it for the crowd coming back, the set, the production, but in terms of the matches and everything that before and afterwards, half the Manias I remember had a great build, and then afterwards something crazy happens. This was just the WWE has just put such little stock in everything outside of this. It really hurts what it was. Again, the matches were all really, really good. The boys and girls worked their asses off. The production, the presentation, phenomenal. It's just bad writing and bad storytelling, and I think that hurts the actual events. I didn't mind the 2 nights. I thought the 2 nights was actually really refreshing. It made that Bianca moment much better, and opposed to got caught in the middle of a 2-card, 8-hour event.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
So 2 nights, I love the idea. I secretly hope they continue it. If they can't do 1 4 or 5 hour show, do 2 3-hour shows. 2 3-hour shows is better than 1 6 7 hour show.
Absolutely.
So I
loved 2-Day Mania. I loved it.
All that being said, I'm giving it an 8.
Yeah, I think, all the matches were, for the most part, very entertaining. They had stories, and I think it does benefit from a 2-night system, because every match has a chance to breathe. I don't think there was any match that went under 10 minutes. Any of them. Every match had its...
Bray and Randy was 6
Never mind. But besides the...
Fuck that match. Fuck that match so hard. That match got me so fucking mad. You know what? Fuck it. This WrestleMania is 7.5 just for that fucking match.
I'm not gonna go as high as 9. I think it's one of those things that it was kind of night 1 was very heavy and a great moment, and I think also the ad-libbing before anything started was great. but then you had Tag Team Turmoil, and I was like, oh, that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt a lot. So I'm going to go with 8.5.
Well, you started the show off so hot with that match and like the opening, the music, all of it. You needed a cool down. That cool down just happened to be here. That's what they always
too much of a cool down, though. Like, too much. And they could have had a lot. They could have done a lot of stuff with it, but that's just me just booking. But let's move on from that. And so let's take a quick commercial break. So when we do come back, we are going to talk about if NXT was able to stand and deliver. And spoiler alert, oh my God, did they ever. We will be right back. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, Kings of the Rings podcast, exclusively here on Wrestle Addict Radio. Shout out to my friend Rachel, and apparently her nursing study group is listening or watching us right now on a live stream. So I don't know why you guys are studying and then listening to us talk about wrestling. Like, I don't know how nursing and wrestling kind of coincide, but thank you. I appreciate it. So yeah, let's move on to NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver was also this past week in wrestling. It was Wednesday and Thursday before Mania, and my goodness, what a show. Will, where do you want to start?
10 out of 10. Just perfect 10. It was perfection. Like, one thing I didn't mention about Mania, the match placement was also really good on Mania, and the match placement for NXT was also really, really good. I'm glad they switched the main event of night 2 to be that 45-minute hellscape.
Yeah, let's talk about that. My goodness, what a brutal match.
I have one complaint.
Of Adam Cole and Kyle?
Yeah, the finish. When Adam Cole came out the top rope, why would you just lay on the chair like that, you fucking moron? Stupid ass motherfucker. See, Braun Strowman just had a match. He dedicated his match to me twice. Yeah, it's just like, why would you just lay on the chair like that? I get it's wrestling, but it just was like, that was stupid.
I mean, the chair spot hurt like that final chair spot hurt like a mofo.
Oh yeah, he was convulsing. It was fantastic. The spot was amazing. It's how they got to the spot was silly.
Yeah, they did some creative. They did a lot of chain wrestling, pun intended, in this match.
Oh my god!
All the puns this week.
It was great. Adam Cole and Kyle. What is it? They went through the stage.
Yeah,
which was wild. And then Adam Cole kicked out the side of the stage, and I'm just
to get him out.
I was like, "What is the stage made of? Like, who is building this? How has nobody collapsed?"
Light plywood.
Yeah, this was an utter insane. This is my favorite spot. Was when they were sitting on the chairs next to each other. they went and took an actual break during the middle of the match to sit down, and then they just started hitting each other again. This was so much fun, and Kyle gets his redemption. I mean, God, he was beating the hell up, and so was Adam Cole. So what do you do with Adam Cole now? Where does Adam Cole show up? He didn't show up on Raw.
He'll probably be on SmackDown on Friday.
Perfect. Put him on SmackDown. Have him run wild. Yeah, have him run wild. He's not in NXT right now, is that right, Kay? Like, he hasn't shown up?
No, right now we're still at Santos Escobar and Kushida for the Cruiserweight title, it seems.
I'm perfectly fine with that.
But they showed a recap of the unsanctioned match, 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, because that match was crazy.
And what tonight? Oh, later, Leon Ruff versus Swerve.
Ooh, Ruff versus Swerve for the umpteenth time.
And up next, Raquel Gonzalez.
Oh, let's talk about Raquel and EO. What were your thoughts, Kay, on this?
Fantastic match. It was so fucking good. All the fanfare for Raquel at the end was really pretty to watch. Although Twitter's reaction was interesting.
Well, we thought somebody was going to come out because it's NXT. You never trust the closing credits of NXT.
Because, Raquel Gonzalez is MAGA.
Really?
She's in a Latinos for Trump
group.
So
he lost.
Twitter was like,
he
wow,
lost. Let Raquel be.
Hey, Twitter, be adults for 5 fucking minutes. Let's enjoy the goddamn wrestling TV show.
She was fun, but apparently, according to our Patreon member Kavita, who's in our chat, we're getting Mercedes versus Raquel as the next big feud.
Love it.
Yeah, perfect.
I love all of those words. But Mercedes Martinez is actually secretly a Fidel Castro enthusiast. Oh, fuck her. She's cut.
No, she's not. She's from Connecticut. Come on, take it easy.
God damn it. Oh, even worse. She's a wasp.
Yeah, no, she's from...
Or a mosp? A masp?
Masp? No.
Is she Mexican?
She's
Martinez?
Puerto Rican, I believe.
Puerto Rican? Oh, she's a prop.
I guess I don't know.
A prop.
A press?
A Puerto Rican Anglo-Saxon Protestant.
I don't know.
Oh no, I don't like any of these words coming
Yeah,
out
no,
of your mouth
I
right
think we're
now.
just making up racial stereotypes at this point.
You shouldn't do that.
I know. I don't know where it came from. So I actually don't know what Mercedes Martinez ethnicity is. I want to say Puerto Rican. Like I'm pretty sure on that.
I could have sworn I've seen her like with a Puerto Rican hat on.
Yeah,
before.
and I feel like it's on like her trunks a lot of the time. But who knows? But then we also have Io Shirai jumping off a skull. And did anybody wonder how she got up there so quickly?
That was my first question. How the fuck did she
How?
get up there? Was there like an elevator?
It's like either elevator or like all the people that just signed her in the back of like the skull and are just lifting her up.
A human
Yeah.
pyramid.
She got up there quick, but shouts out to Io Shirai. She's had a great run. She lost. She should show up somewhere. Who knows? But this is Raquel's time. MAGA or not, we're getting Raquel versus Mercedes. Stairs? Was it really stairs, Mr. Fretz? How do you know these things?
That's a tall ass
Yeah,
staircase.
and this was a
You must
Yeah,
have
it's like
break
a
that.
and that was a tall ass chop. Walter versus Ciampa.
Wow.
I've been very critical of Walter matches. At least from what I've seen, they bore the fuck out of me. This match was. I'm on the board. I'm on the train, dude. I'm on the Walter train. This was outstanding.
That first chop. Again, when he was doing the ricochet off the ropes, I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my lord, here we go!" And then, Kay, he broke the announce table in half.
That match gave me goosebumps. I couldn't breathe. Walter, honestly, like
You stood next to
was
the man.
almost my king. Yeah, we share a birthday.
Wow,
Wow.
really?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, I learned that last year on my birthday, but he was like one of my MVPs from Mania week, because
Yeah, me too.
he had two phenomenal matches this week, and I'm curious who's gonna take the title. off of him.
Honestly, even if it's a one-off, give me Walter versus Roman. Do something funky like that. You know, that would be awesome. But what do you do with Ciampa now? Does Ciampa go anywhere? Like, Ciampa's been chopped out of existence right now. But who knows?
Ciampa will show up in a few weeks.
And apparently Mr. Fretch shares a birthday with John Cena. Too bad you can never see him for his birthday. Thank you, Will. I appreciate that.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I got you.
I love it. Imperium's a thing. They're in NXT now. And then we also have... what's going on, Jobber Tears podcast? About time you guys showed up to a stream. But anywho, we have Finn Balor versus Karrion Kross, which wasn't the main event. Oh, no, it was.
Thank
Yeah,
God.
it wasn't the main event, but they put on a main event style match. And it's weird, Will, because with Karrion Kross... a lot of the time you see him, he's kind of boring because he didn't have a good partner to go with, and Finn just has the perfect style for him, and I think it worked well.
Yeah, I agree. It was pretty solid.
Yeah.
You know, his entrance was the exact same you see every week, so nothing special there. And he didn't hurt his shoulder, so
Yeah.
gold
Props.
I thought we were gonna get Demon Finn, based on that fucking package.
Yeah.
For a second, I
Yeah.
did too, but I was like, nah, they got to build up to it.
Yeah,
You're going to get Demon Finn when he returns to Raw or SmackDown.
a crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll build up to that. They won't bring Demon Finn back at NXT, although they should, because that's when they actually use the Demon correctly. But who knows? So, Cross is finally champion, and he's going to actually have a longer reign than he did the last time, judging just by the amount of time that he's held the title so far. So,
Yeah, it's already long.
yeah. Yeah, Finn did carry him. Whoa. Fretz is saying NXT had a big moment. Tell me what's going on, Fretz, as we continue and talk about this ladder match between Evil Finn, Jordan Devlin, and Santos Escobar.
And sexy.
Yeah.
Our people are going nuts. All right, Kay just froze.
And new
what?
cruiserweight champion.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
bull.
And we're on the Cruiserweight title match as we're looking at this.
Oh, that makes this ladder match instantly less cool.
Sorry, y'all.
Wow, really? I mean, this match was great.
It was a great ladder match.
It was a great
ladder match.
They did this moonsault
He's
from the
like
top.
rolling around on the floor.
What, Kushida's rolling around on the floor?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, here's Ciampa with Thatcher.
Because he's sad he has to go to 205 Live now.
Yeah, right.
Because I wanted to go to Raw.
I thought you said I was getting pushed. But this was good.
See, in Japanese, 205 means Monday Night Raw.
Oh my god! But this was good to see. I love seeing Santos Escobar with his child at the top of the ring. It was really cool. But apparently he just lost. So everything we're talking about right now.
Yeah, he looked pissed.
So you know what? Fuck him.
Is null and void. That's really disheartening. But what wasn't disheartening? We got MSK, Grizzled Young Vets, and Legado del Fantasma in just a wild match. Absolutely wild.
Yeah. I
love MSK. They finally got their titles that they were promised until one of them got injured for a little bit, but they're back. And this was a great match. Kay, what did you think? What do you think of this one?
I'm salty. My boys at the Grizzly Young Vendors didn't
They
win,
deserve to lose,
but their time will come.
They're fine. They're there for a while.
Yeah, they'll win.
I mean, the people who carried this match,
really good. I like
people who carried this match were freaking Legado del Fantasma. They had awesome spots, absolutely awesome spots, and they kept everything going. But fortunately for everybody, MSK won, and this is how you rebuild their already strong tag division. It's on the backs of these kooky guys, and the more kooky, the better. And I hope they never change their characters because they're silly and they're fun.
Like Ricky, it's like if me and you were a tag team, like those are our
we would do our antics all the time.
Oh my god!
Just eating popcorn all the time in front of everybody.
Okay, if y'all are MSK, who on NXT am I?
If we are MSK, then who are you? All right, so look, we're gonna bring this up to our listeners and our viewers right now. If Kay was on NXT and Will and I are already MSK.
You know what? You're that demon from 1,000 years ago who has Boa by the balls.
Oh, Tiensha.
Yeah, that's Kay Murphy.
You think I'm the Crypt Keeper? Great.
I don't know if Kay's the Crypt Keeper.
Wow.
Yeah, that's kind of messed up.
Wow.
Person that came to mind.
Wow.
Well, yeah.
Hey, you're in control. You're in control of the faction. You torture people. What's not to love?
I mean,
Who do I torture?
You torture Xia Li and Boa.
Yeah, you make Boa believe he's going to get in the ring at one point in his career.
You give Braun Strowman something to fight for. You're a bully.
You call people stupid all the time. All right. I don't want to call you Drake Maverick, although you do have a Drake Maverick personality.
I do have a Drake Maverick personality.
We just need to find your Killian Dane. Somebody.
Kay's shocking. Somebody get Kay a tank.
Really, Kavita? You're going to give the tank away? Kavita wants a tank. I know this for a fact. Maybe you...
Just get... You know you should get me? You remember those from the 90s? Those, like, Barbie Jeeps you could drive around?
Yeah.
Get me that.
I'll put it this way. Kay, you are Shotzi and Kavita's Ember Moon. Everybody wins.
Yay.
Oh, good question as we move along, because apparently Pete Dunne and Kushida mean nothing since Kushida just won the Cruiserweight title. How does everybody feel about wrestling 5 days a week? Well, we're going to talk about that at the end, Jobber Tears, because we have a very special announcement about that. But before we get to that, Will, Bronson Reed, Thick Boy season is in effect until he lost to Johnny.
I was so close to being 100%
Were you
right.
Really?
And remember last week I said he's going to surprise win. They're going to build him and give him the title for a big push.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been building him slowly in the background for the past few months, and then they just didn't pull the trigger, which is surprising. I mean, what else does Johnny have to do?
Nothing.
Like, him having his belt doesn't help it. It doesn't matter that he has the belt. He's forever over. It doesn't matter.
He's here to make sure that Austin Theory doesn't get in trouble again. That's what the way is all about. He's here to make sure Theory doesn't get in trouble again. And then we had the tag match, speaking of Shotzi and Ember, where, does anybody know if Shotzi actually got a concussion?
From what I heard, she didn't, but her dad passed away.
I did hear about her dad passed away. It was after this takeover performance, correct?
Mm-hmm. On Saturday, I believe.
Yeah. Which is a shame. But, I mean, it looked like after the match, like, Shotzi was totally out of it. But they put on a fun, entertaining match. They retained.
What was the spot? I don't remember the spot.
She did a tope suicida to the outside, and I think her head...
and they didn't catch her. I remember that. I was watching, I was like, oh, they didn't catch her.
Yeah.
I was like, Amber is like, oh, they got her.
Yeah, that's why I thought she lost it. But she finished out the match. I mean, even in this photo here, it looks like she's kind of out of it. But they won, and it is what it is. And already the NXT women's tag titles are better than the main roster titles. But even as it may,
here.
TakeOver Stand and Deliver is over. We're going to crown this right now after watching the entire event. But condolences to her father. That's right, Jobber Tears. K. Murphy, what are you ranking this pay-per-view? Will's already giving it a 10. We already know that.
10.
You are giving it a 10?
10. 10. Fucking perfect.
Oh, you're the pinnacle, K. Murphy. I'm going to give this... I don't know if I'd give this a perfect 10. But it's better than Mania. Just because their placement was a little bit better, and their matches were a little bit more consistent. So I'm going to give it, I gave Mania 8.5. I'm going to give this one a 9.5. Yeah, we're going to give this a 9.5. So let's move on to as we start to close the show, our match of the week, where we talk about our favorite matches that we had this week. It was obviously WrestleMania week and TakeOver week. So our first match of the week comes from K. Murphy, and it's from NXT UK, The Prelude.
My match of the week is Walter versus Rampage Brown. Okay, so Walter and Ciampa slapped. This match was better. Like, come at me. This match was better.
I'm very intrigued by this, Kay.
Walter almost dropped the title.
No way.
It was meat slapping majesty.
Will, you're gonna need to.
Like, if I had to rate this, like, on a scale of 1 to 5 meats.
I need you to mark the audio of Kay saying meat slapping majesty and then just have that as like an audio thing. As like an audio clip for future shows.
My audio, I thought I like froze or something.
No. It's meat slapping majesty. That's a great line. We're gonna hold on to that one forever.
Okay, but if I had to rate this 1 to 5 meats, it would be like 10 meats.
It'd be 10 meats.
It would be a track meet.
In my head, I'm seeing animated like hands, like you would see on like what Scooby Doo would eat.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Weren't they steaks or were they hams?
I've seen him eat a ham.
Both.
Sometimes.
Both.
Yeah. They are.
Sometimes cotton candy, you know.
Yes.
Scooby.
Alright, so we stop doing cartoon sounds. Well, your match of the week actually comes from WrestleMania.
Like a soing Scoob. I think I gotta go with the WrestleMania main event. I mean, as it should be. I mean, the WrestleMania main event should be a match of the year every year.
Yes.
In this case, one of the two main events, and this one was phenomenal. It was creative. It was a triple threat. You know, even though it had Daniel Bryan. But it was the build-up was it picked up towards the end. Like as soon as Fastlane ended, it kind of started to pick up.
Yeah.
But it was just like it would have been better and better all time if they had a better build. But for the match being what it was, great storytelling, great spots, and a great finish. Yeah. No complaint from me.
Absolutely. My match of the week, if you guys didn't know, I'm a Sasha mark. It was going to be Sasha versus Bianca. The match was phenomenal. It was historic. 2 black women main eventing a WrestleMania ever. First WrestleMania that 2 black women main evented in a WrestleMania, which Michael Cole made very clear. It's the one thing that he didn't botch during that match. And besides that whole history making thing in and of itself, it was just genuinely a really good match. And as much as I wanted Sasha to win, Bianca was the right person to win. Especially because it's what you do in wrestling. You put other people over. You make them stars. That's how wrestling continues in perpetuity. You know, it reminded me of a story that Randy Orton said when he was on Broken Skull Sessions, where Vince got mad at Taker because Taker was letting Randy get in a lot of moves and like what was supposed to be a squash match. And Taker rebutted him. He's like, well, no, this is what we do. We get people over, right? Like, that's what we're doing. We're going to give this guy confidence. And Sasha held her own. She still got her moves in. She still looked like a star. But she had a star-making performance in making somebody else a star. And it showed how happy she was. If you saw the video, when she was on the ground and she was supposed to be in pain, she was smiling from ear to ear. So congratulations to both of them for making history. And the best women's main event, because the triple threat can't hold anything. The women's triple threat from Mania at New York can't hold anything to this match. So let's move on to let's move on to our King of the Night or Queen of the Night, the people who we thought had the best week in wrestling. And Kay Murphy, your Queen of the Night is obviously the EST of WWE.
My girl Bianca Belair won.
This is a beautiful shot, by the way. I love this shot.
It is. I feel like she. Oh, here's Taya Valkyrie on NXT. Sorry to cut.
It is Frankie Monet.
Yeah, Frankie Monet. She's got her puppy with her.
Of course. Puppy! Here come the puppies.
Chicago. In Chicago. Woof woof.
I can't wait to watch this again tomorrow and hear what her music is. But Bianca had such a amazing weekend. Her match showed so much growth from her NXT days. It was also her birthday during WrestleMania weekend, which was also
it was
like a
Friday,
nice
right?
little,
Friday was her birthday?
Yeah, birthday was I think Friday. So like, what a birthday weekend to like be one of the first Black women to main event a WrestleMania and win the day after your birthday.
It's a great fucking weekend.
And the first event in front of a crowd in 1 year, 1 month, and 1 day. Something they kept saying during the whole pay-per-view. She deserves it, and like I hope she has a long, hefty run. She's the future of women's wrestling for sure.
Definitely, and it is one more point, Bianca. It is crazy how, they erased the past like 2.5 months of terrible booking and making her a star in 3 seconds, because like as soon as she won, it was like, oh yeah, she's made again. It's like when she won the Rumble, it's like, oh, she's a made woman again. She's
that good.
Yeah. And to Kay's point about being the future, oh yeah, like you're seeing WWE is leaning more towards
the other females that aren't the Four Horsewomen.
No, I'm not even talking about that. It's the people. I'm saying the build.
Yeah.
She's the athletic woman, the muscular woman, the pure athlete instead of the.
She's not a diva.
She's not a pretty blonde.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's the same thing with Raquel. Raquel's also the future because she's massive. She's strong as fuck. You've seen the same thing on AEW with Jade.
And Rhea Ripley as well.
And Rhea.
Well, Rhea Ripley as well, but she's also so fucking gorgeous.
That too.
But she's still not like.
She's a big woman.
Diva.
Yeah.
She's only 5'7".
Is she really?
She's the tallest. Rhea Ripley is 5'7".
I thought she was taller.
She carries herself.
I thought she was taller too.
She carries herself like she's 6 foot. She's 5'7".
They have that stigma of manly. I use that in air quotes. And that is the future of women's wrestling, because those are the workers. Those are they're just athletically gifted, and they're gonna be fucking crazy. And Bianca Belair, when she first debuted in NXT, her in-ring work has consistently gotten better. It's been pretty consistent, but she has improved. But her skills in the mic have gotten tenfold better.
They let her just be her natural. She's kind of a quirky person.
Yeah. And they pulled the trigger on her at the perfect time. So.
Oh my God, Rhea Ripley's on NXT.
Oh, that's big.
With the Raw.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So let's talk about Bad Bunny, Will.
So I'm really sorry to interrupt you.
What do we got?
Okay, so right now, Raquel is in the ring with Dakota Kai, Frankie Monet, and now fucking Rhea's here.
Yeah, apparently Raquel threatened to shove a dog up Frankie's butt, whatever butt is in Spanish, culo.
I will say, during Rhea's entrance at Mania, man, that chick who sings her main song is
gorgeous. Like, looked great, not a great live performer.
She didn't sound good, and like I know the band she's in. Like I was surprised she sounded.
There are some people who are just bad live performers. It is what it is. But let's move on. She wasn't. She was not good at all.
Oh, they're staring at each other.
Ooh.
Okay, and they just clinked their titles and they're
Oh,
hugging.
boo! Fight.
Rhea's a heel, by the way.
I'm waiting.
Or she's
Oh my
supposed to
god,
be.
what is this?
What is going? Yeah.
Lights, purple lights.
Velveteen Dream.
Who the fuck
Velveteen
is
Dream.
this? It's Bianca Belair.
Are you kidding me?
No, I am not kidding.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Oh, wait, what is going on right now?
Because NXT birthed all the champions right now. It's not the
Oh,
Horsemen.
this is an NXT power move. He's like, I'm gonna have all the people that I just ran WrestleMania with back to open up the first actual Tuesday show. Power move right there.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, keep stalling because my audition, not crashing, but it's stalling because my mixer got unplugged. But we're still live. So
yeah,
that's
we're
fine.
still live. Well, good thing I'm also recording this as well.
Just stall for a second.
Yeah.
So I can fix
Okay,
shit.
so they're pointing at an old picture of themselves, and they do that on RuPaul's Drag Race with the Final Four, where RuPaul will present.
How
a
did you
picture-
tie in RuPaul's Drag Race?
Ready? Can you listen? Because
I'm
you interrupted
listening.
me before. So they put on like the prompter or whatever a photo of the three of them like in earlier NXT days. In the finale, getting ready for the finale of RuPaul's Drag Race, what RuPaul does with the Final Four, she presents a photo of the queen's like childhood selves, like between the ages of like 3 to like 7. So she'll go to the queens and be like, "What would you say to 5-year-old Ricky?" And then the queens usually start crying, and they usually give their younger selves words of wisdom, like it's okay to be gay, and you can be yourself, and don't dye your hair, and things of that nature.
You lost me. Like I got what you were
How
saying.
did I lose you? How did I lose you? What are you confused about?
No, I'm not confused about it, but like I lost how it ties into the moment that's happening right now. Like I
Because
get they
they
had the
were-
picture on there, but like were they
Because
talking to
they were
them?
they were like from again. I have it on mute, so they were like it looked like they were talking among themselves while pointing at the picture.
Interesting. Yeah, we're gonna have to listen back, or we're gonna have to watch it actually.
And now Peter Dunn is talking.
Oh, good old Peter. But anywho, Will, as you're going, should I just talk about your King of the Night while we're at it?
Yeah. Hang on. I don't know why I'm not getting. Fuck me.
Uh-oh. Good thing I'm
I gotta
recording.
go back and just redo the inputs.
Yeah.
This is what happens. This is what happens when you unplug a mixer when you're live.
Yeah.
Or when you got to adjust for like a backstretch. I don't even know.
I can continue to stall.
No, we're gonna continue on. So we'll talk about Bad Bunny as your King of the Night.
Why isn't this recording? I'll pull it's because the R's aren't on. Fuck me. All right. All right, testing 3, 2, 1. We're good. Anyway, Bad Bunny. Okay, thank you so much for stalling. So it's gonna be a little bit of a cut in the audio, but hey, that's what post-production editing is for. But if you were with us live, you got all of it.
All of
so
it. We're gonna keep it on there too.
Bad Bunny. Yeah, Bad Bunny is my animal of the night. Because
I don't have a
he
logo
is
for
my-
animal of the night.
he is my rodents of the
of the
evening. Rabbits aren't rodents.
Rabbits are not
What
rodents
kind
at
of-
all. Don't.
marsupials?
No, I don't know. Don't tell Kavita about you called a rabbit a rodent.
Fuck them, they're rodents.
They're not
It's my
rodents.
rodent of the night. Bad Bunny. Uh-oh, I hit a button. That was a button on my keyboard. Oh, fuck. I don't know why Windows Office is open. I don't even have Office on this computer. That's all right. Anyway, it got that happening, so I was going to make a joke I shouldn't have made anyway. But yeah, Bad Bunny is the king of the night for his performance. It was outstanding. Moving on. What we got
Kavita's
next?
threatening to kick your ass. Anywho, my queen of the night is obviously Sasha Banks, and arguably the greatest female wrestler of all time at this point in her career. It is very arguable.
Yeah, the comparison to Shawn Michaels is great because he didn't win a WrestleMania.
A lot of
either.
people a lot of your great wrestlers, besides like The Undertaker, have losing records at Mania.
I think Triple H, Shawn Michaels.
You know, so, but it's the fact that she is able, she's very AJ Styles-esque, but I think probably more creative in her in-ring psychology and the way that she puts matches together. She is just able to work with almost any person in any style. Just look at the people she's had major matches with. The Ronda match that she had at Rumble shouldn't have been as good as it was, with Ronda being that new. You know, she obviously had good working with Charlotte. She went down to NXT and worked with Io. She just has range, and she makes all of her opponents look good against her.
Yeah, she's the best.
She is the best. The Charlotte nonsense is let's just get out of here. So now that we've kind of semi-predicted the future, we are going to go into this final segment we have called Future Shock, which we debuted last week, where we try to figure out what the major headline is going to be going into next week's show, and that is even a Future Shock in and of itself. So, Kay Murphy, what is going to be the biggest thing going on in wrestling by this time next week?
Eva Marie's going to be back.
We can never use this again, by the way.
What do you mean I can never?
You can't be like you can't be like every week. It's like, oh, Eva Marie's coming back this week. Like
I don't think Eva Marie is coming back every week, but I can predict Eva Marie coming back for big things. Right now, we're in the post-Mania hype, so if Eva Marie doesn't come back now, I'm gonna start suspecting her returning around SummerSlam. She's gonna come back for a Big Four because she's a special star that deserves the best.
We've lost all of our viewers. I'm joking. Like everybody's unsubscribed to us.
I didn't book Goldberg this week, so there's that.
That's very true. Well, what's your big future headline?
In reality, I don't think this has any chance of happening, but I'm being hopeful here. Within the next 6 weeks, NXT is going to surpass Raw in ratings.
Ooh, that's a bold prediction.
Because Raw is such shit. Now, with Kay just telling us that Rhea Ripley and Bianca came out on NXT, like, that is shit you want a post-Mania card.
Yeah.
Like, this is something, you have a WrestleMania, fans, like, new fans are watching, casual fans are watching. Hopefully they continue over to Monday Night Raw, and that's a show you put on. Great, see you at Rumble.
Survivor Series.
Like, SummerSlam.
Or SummerSlam as well.
Maybe.
Or even Money in the Bank. But are we gonna start shifting to stop caring about the Raw after Mania and start focusing on the NXT after Mania? Because I'm watching this shit on mute, but this shit is slapping.
Also, a reason why NXT was a perfect 10 for me is because the build was so fucking good.
The builds were great.
You were excited going in, and you were more excited going out. WrestleMania, I wasn't excited going in, and I was happy going out.
Yeah.
That's a good comparison.
Like, I think that's half the reason I rated Mania so high, because I went in with, like, minimal expectations.
Low expectations.
I was more excited to fuck her out. Yeah, so I had such a good time, and, like, so many matches were just very good, and nothing was really bad, except for fucking Hulk Hogan just as a pirate. But you win some, you lose
and
some.
Titus didn't even slide once, which I thought was a disappointment.
Yeah, him and Titus literally added nothing to WrestleMania. It's not a goddamn thing. They might as well not have been there. They didn't do anything.
Who debuts next week, Saray? Talk to me about it in the chat, friends. My future shock actually has to do with us, and so I can guarantee that next week we're moving to Wednesdays. So our show is moving to Wednesday nights instead of Tuesday nights because NXT just happened. So that's my guaranteed prediction. That's not even a prediction, it's a spoiler alert. So the next time you see us live will actually be Wednesday night at 8 p.m. because we decided we were going to go up against AEW because we're going to call ourselves with WEA. And I think that's the perfect title for next week's show. We are going to...
I wanted it to be Wacky Wednesday. But
I actually do like Wacky Wednesday. We can be like silly hats only and do different themes.
You could do WEA... Wacky Wednesday.
Oh, the WEA presents
Wacky Wednesday, yes!
The only Dr. Seuss book that hasn't been canceled.
Yes, Roderick Strong just quit NXT. That's crazy. So...
Great, now I don't have to watch it. Thanks, guys.
Oh, Roddy's gone.
Ricky, you might want to put NXT on because Swerve and Leon's about to start.
We'll do that in a second. But yes, we are going to be moving to Wednesdays, and it's going to be Wacky Wednesday. Now I got to find a really wacky hat to wear for Wacky Wednesday because we got to do it, and we're going to do it big because we are going to have.
Oh, are we dressing silly on? Are we going to dress wacky?
We just named our new show Wacky Wednesday, so yes, we have to dress silly.
I'm just going to buy a Speedo, and you guys are just going to enjoy.
We're gonna get flagged on Twitch. It's like inappropriate content.
You can't really see the bottom half anyway. So it's gonna be straight knit.
Yeah. This would be the perfect time for you to do like a Cameron Grimes cosplay.
Oh my god!
Oh no!
I don't have any chest hair though. Like my body's just like, hey, Will, no
Yeah,
chest hair.
yeah,
Sorry.
you're done. Yeah, we'll have to draw it on you.
I'm a especially with the lightness.
Paler than me.
I'm not. It's not that. It's just the lighting on the camera just makes everything like I'm overexposed. It's kind of a problem. But I am a pasty white motherfucker. I can tell you that much. Me and Shane was great friends.
You are pasty. So the next time you see us, folks, again, we'll be on Wednesday, Wacky Wednesday. Bring your silly hats, bring your kooky ideas, because it's probably going to be a crazy, crazy debut on Wednesday night. We will still have our audio on Thursday, but our show will just move over to Wednesday, so our turnaround is going to be really, really quick. But until next week, Will, give us some outro music.
No, I'm just kidding. Not this week. Not this week.
Of course.
I'm on my own, against the wall. The pressure's building.
There goes my mouse.
I will never fall. Instead of crying, they hear me.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Kings of the Rings podcast, episode number 244, the Mania Drip, our post-WrestleMania and TakeOver show. What a wild time we had. We will be back next week, obviously on Wednesday, for our first ever Wacky Wednesday live show. Of course, you can find me at Ambassador Biggs across all social media outlets, BIGZ, Ambassador Biggs. Find Kings of the Rings podcast at KOTR_podcast on Twitter, on Instagram. Like, share, subscribe, leave us 5-star reviews. Listen to us on places like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify by subscribing to Wrestle Addict Radio, and follow Wrestle Addict Radio on Twitter at Addict_Wrestle and Wrestle Addict Radio on Facebook and Instagram. Be sure to check out some of our brand new merch that's coming out soon. Be sure to check out some of our other podcasts on Wrestle Addict Radio, including WrestleMania, the Young Lions Perspective, and the Return of a Delight Show. Welcome back, mans. All of our stuff is in the links below in all of our videos and all of our audio stuff. Shout out to our Patreon members, Kavita, Mr. Frets, joining us, and the Jobber Tiers. And thank you for Kafer for showing up as well. So shout out to all you guys. We will be back next Wednesday. Will Tarashak. Hopefully your computer's fixed by then.
No, my computer doesn't have an issue. It's I unplugged the mixer. And, when that happens, we start audition because it takes up a lot of bandwidth. And Baba Booey debuted. And what the fuck you gonna do? Yeah, I'm Will Tarashuk. If you don't know my shit by now, then show yourself the door, please. Kay Murphy, I love you.
I love you so much. I have some stuff coming out very soon, so keep an eye out. Check out last week's episode of The Delight Show where I took over. We did the Gifted podcast, so check that out. And you can find me across all social media platforms at the K Murphy, TheKae Murphy.
That's right. So again, folks, when we come back on Wednesday, we're going to get really wacky, talk about everything that happened in NXT that we kind of just spoiled on this episode, and we'll see what happened with SmackDown after Mania, and if Raw is in any way, shape, or form entertaining. But until then, folks, goodbye, good night, we'll see you next week, and fuck you, Slack. You didn't even show up. Fuck you, Slack.
What an ass.
See you, folks.